Falcons game week 2, and many more, or some other things that are coming up. We do have a special guest coming on air where we're just waiting on that person. But until then, we'll see you back in 20 seconds. What's up, everybody? What is going on? Wednesday night prime time. You see the guys, man. You know what it is. 95 North Sports Machine coming at you live and direct, man. Quick special shout out. Louis Algier is in the chat. What up? Hope all is good with you, man. We're going to get you on here soon, brother. We're going to get you on here soon, man, so we could chop it up, man, and talk about these good old Atlanta Falcons, man. But shout out to the folks in the chat. Let's go right through them right quick. John Higgins is in the house. Smooth Spitty 95 degree. Chris, what it do? What is going on, brother? Make sure you got that pork chop sandwich ready, because I'm fitting to take a flight to Atlanta to get me some of that, man. As we all know, man.
And y'all know I got to have my chicken.
Glad you're back. Appreciate you joining the stream this evening. William Amy is in the house tonight as well. Tough game. This Philly team scored 30 points. That's a fact. But I think we've uncovered some things in a way that this Philly team is not. We can get them, but stay tuned. Stay tuned. Tony Wright is in the house tonight. What is going on, Tony? Mama Torres is in the house. Mom, bendición. Hope all is good with you. Talk to you later. Oh, Mom Dukes is official, bro. You'll get to know that name real soon, man. But, gentlemen, man, that's right, man. Post week 1, how are we feeling right now about our Atlanta Falcons? Shaka Zulu, what's happening, brother? Before we hit the field in the city of brotherly love with these Philadelphia Eagles, have you guys gotten over the week 1 off the rails game, if you some may call it, or a game that just didn't look right for these Atlanta Falcons? How are you guys feeling, man? Go ahead.
Who wants to start? Look, I'll be the first to start. I was in disbelief after the game. I think. What's up, Damsky? I was in disbelief. I think just like the rest of Falcon Nation, of course. The negative ones out there were like, see, I told you so. But the expectations were a little higher. After giving some days, film breakdown, just discussing with people, it's fixable. So the optimism remains there. A lot of people are hitting the panic button. I'm not one of them, but I am one of those people that need to see improvement, especially on the offensive side. Yeah. So the optimism is there for me still.
So would you say your optimism is with caution, or is this a game where you feel like you better show me something more than what happened on Sunday? Obviously,
no, it's you got to show me more. You got to show me more. And let's be honest. I like to say I know my stuff to a certain degree, and the professionals, the coaches, the athletes, if I could see it sitting behind my screen and could see it coming, I can only imagine what the players and the coaches against us were seeing. So I need to see improvement. I
got to.
Yeah. No panic button, but I just need to see that next step forward.
And one thing that you probably need to see is this offensive line come together like we know they can. You've seen this offensive line the last 2 seasons be one of the best in the NFL. And Sunday, they looked like they couldn't stop a 2-year-old from going down the steps. Caleb McGarry, I mean, he had tough spots in the game, but he did play okay against, while they were running the ball, but he needs to get that pass protection under control. You need to see them put another tight end on that side, as we said during Sunday's post game. But I think, and I've said this before, and I said this Sunday, if you want to beat this team, you got to beat them up physically, because just like the Steelers, they're a physical football team in the trenches. You look at that defensive line, man, one of the best in the NFL. So how do you do that? You offset it with running a guy like Tyler Algier. You wear him down, pounding the football. And I don't know what the weather's going to be like, but I do know that in Philadelphia, that field it can get ugly at times. So look, you can catch them slipping by running the football, set up the play action, put Kirk Cousins on the center where he should have been last week, and make this offense balanced. And all they have to do with that, and like Kev said, we see the potential there. Put Kirk Cousins in a situation where he could succeed, where he can excel. And how do you do that? Get back in the film room, see what you did right. Because that drive that they had for the touchdown, that drive alone, let me know they could be headed in the right direction. Yeah, they took a step back after that drive, but at the same time, you know, fumbles, interceptions, turnovers, all that happened. So just get back in the film room, fix it, try to put it together, because it's gonna take a couple of weeks. Let's get it. Yeah. Let's get it. Let's be honest out there. It takes a while, because you saw it with Kyle Shanahan when he was here. It took them almost a whole season to get on the same page. So hopefully we can get it together a little bit faster than that. But you know, we'll see.
That's what we was hoping for, man. The expectations of this team coming into this season has been high as it's been in quite some time. So to come out flat like that, it was just a disappointment to the fan base and to everybody who was definitely in the stadium, because it was the fans did their job. They showed up. It's just the Falcons team on the field didn't do theirs. So they definitely have to get better. I'm still optimistic. I think that we can still have a successful season. It's not over, but of course we're already being rid off to not even make the playoffs after 1 week, after facing a top 5 defense.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
And everything. But it's all good. It's all right. All this, those different talks are going to come up when you don't perform. But you know, Kurt looked rusty. He looked like he wasn't, able to plant. He looks like he wasn't all the way healthy. Maybe we should have given him some snaps in preseason to help knock off some of that rust. Hey, we can't even cross that bridge. That spilled milk, and we can't even clean that up anymore. So we just got to move forward, and we got to execute, y'all. That's just point blank. Then and more than anything, you got to give yourself a chance. You do that by limiting turnovers and penalties, and of course, owning time of possession and tempo. You did none of those things outside of that first drive.
I'll add on to this, right? And I see this as it goes. What is going to be the Falcons' identity going forward? I think that's the most important thing. We have to establish an identity. Who is going to be this 2024 Atlanta Falcons team? Right now, we don't know. It's an unbalanced offense. Some would say, we showcase a lot of Bijan. We try to get something going on air, but nothing really came to fruition. So right now, more than ever, we have to start start putting together what our identity is going to be. We also got to clean up a lot of the mishaps that we had. A lot of penalties were called on these Falcons too. So self-inflicted wounds definitely, have to fall by the wayside, be more disciplined on the field, and coaches as well. Don't be afraid to make the in-game adjustments that has doomed this team so much in previous regimes or in years past. Just think outside of the box. If something you feel may work better, and I'm going to call it right out, the run game. I think we featured Bijan a little too much, and you guys, we all collectively talked and through text. I think that's one of the things we got to start establishing who Tyler Algier is. He could be a key cog in this game too. I think Bijan's speed plays right to the strength of that Philly defense overall, which is predicated on speed. So can we find a balance in this run game to really start opening up? And that, as wild as of a take that may be, or as wild as that may be to say, folks, it really isn't. A speedy team can always shut down, a speedy back. They got Saquon Barkley, a guy that they practice, on a day in and day out basis. They know what they're going to get out. Bijan Robinson comes with a similar skill set or skill trait. So they're going to be prepped for him. So it might be time to introduce the bowling ball that we have back there in Bijan Robinson. So I'm hoping that week 2 we can start getting things right. And yeah, man, we have to. I think it's imperative, man. So
7 yards per carry.
Oh yeah, that goes without saying, man. Yeah. So I think we highlighted a lot of the things, concerns from the offense. What do you see the defense? What step forward can this defense take against the Philadelphia Eagles? Jalen Hurts, had 2 early turnovers early on in the game. They have some new pieces on that offensive line, primarily at the right guard and the center spot. One guy that this Falcon staff knows too well, and that's Dwayne Ledford. Mekhi Becton, who's now the right guard for these Philadelphia Eagles. Dwayne Ledford coached in Louisville in college, so he might know a thing or two, on how to get the best of Mekhi Becton. But what do you see this defense doing in week 2 to just further put on from the performance that they gave us from week 1, which was 2 sacks, 1 by Judon, 1 by Grady, and just very not so opportunistic, gave up some explosive plays. But what do the Falcons have to do in that sense to get things going? Go ahead, bro.
Well, I'm curious because Zach Harrison is listed as a starter, but they threw out Eddie Goldman out there a lot. And maybe it was because they thought they had backup offensive linemen and they could take advantage of something. Maybe it was a plan. But you got to fight size with size. Put Zach Harrison in Mekhi Becton's face. The guy, Mekhi Becton, with all his flaws, is still a big body and he can push people around. I watched it when I was watching the Eagles game, the All-22. He was beating some people up. But in addition to that, I hardly saw any what's it called? Simulated pressures, any stunt calls, any of that. It was hardly done. It was just straight up get to the rusher. That doesn't always work. Sometimes it does. We saw Grady get to it. And then when Justin Fields tried to break contain, Judon broke off and they split the sack there. But getting more creative on that front, because like you said, the center and the right guard, they're still getting the flow of thing, learning things. The tackles are their strength. So winning on the edge is going to be difficult. You got to win inside. And that's when you send Nate Landman, Troy Anderson, Caden Ellis on those stunts, those simulated pressures that confuses them and gets a clean shot at Jalen Hurts.
And bro talk, just to highlight what you just said on the Jalen Hurts situation, right? Both of his turnovers came with pressure right up the middle. So like you mentioned, the strength being the bookends, it has to be highlighted that the pressure sims have to be right through the middle, sending the Nate Landman, hey, sending Troy Anderson up those gaps, man. It could be pivotal. But Smitty, Chris, what do you have to add on to this, man?
Go ahead, Chris.
Oh, well, for one thing, as far as a concern, it's a small concern because it's week 1, but I just feel like the Eagles all around have a significantly better offense all around than the Steelers do. And I know last year on 3rd and 4th down, the Falcons were ranked 3rd in the NFL. Atlanta, they have to do better against the run this week because the Steelers were still able to, run the ball about 41 times. And it was like 3.3 or 4 something yards per carry. And at the end of the day, that equaled them to get 8 conversions out of 17 on 3rd down when Atlanta had 2 for 9. So Atlanta has to be better on 3rd down on defense. And, of course, on offense, we have to execute on offense. We have to get more creative. I believe that what Vangel's defense emphasizes on stopping big plays through the air and forcing quarterbacks to try to beat them with underneath throws. Kurt, he knows this defense all so well. First introduced back in Washington in 2015. Then he's seen it again against Chicago, Denver, and Philly. He's seen this defense before. It's time to figure things out and be able to pick apart this defense because the secondary of the Eagles is their weak spot. And I believe that you can exploit some things there.
Agree. Defensively with the Falcons, I just think they need to have the correct personnel on the field a little bit more this game. As I looked at the game last week and I saw a little bit of film, and during the game I said it. I think Nate Landman has to be the starter, man. I'm sorry. He just seemed to give more effort. He's better downhill. And against a Saquon Barkley, a guy that had thighs like Earl Campbell, you got to have a natural linebacker in there. And there's no knock against Troy Anderson. To be honest, he's still trying to get familiar with the linebacker position, even after 3 years. But you put a Nate Landman in there, and if you're going to have Troy Anderson on the field, have him to spot Jalen Hurts because he has the speed to keep up with him. So that is one major change I think they should make. Also, like you said, Grady and Judon did their job very well last week. Let's see them do that for a second week straight. Let's see, can they keep getting pressure on the quarterback? And Lorenzo Carter, you're another one of those guys. If you're not going to help with the pass rush, man, let Arnold Ebiketie, work somehow. but you got to have speed on the outside for a guy like Jalen Hurts. We saw it last year with Josh Dobbs and Kyler Murray. You got to have speed on the outside when you're playing a scrambling quarterback, and Jalen Hurts is no punk, man. This dude is strong. You saw it last week against Green Bay. They had him hemmed up a couple of times, but he fought through it, picked up first downs, and yeah, you got to Jalen Hurts is the key. Stop the run, keep Jalen Hurts under control. Do not give him time to throw downfield, because if he finds Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, or Jahan Dotson, who's still learning the offense, it's going to be a long day. So, that's what
don't let Jahan Dotson come out game. Come on now.
Nah, I think Lee Alford will have him locked up. Last week. Lee Alford will have him locked up. But to add to Smitty's point, personnel-wise, I think you hit the nail on the head. And when Nate Landman was in there, you saw effective run stuffing. Yep. And this could be the breakout party for that penny front that everyone talked about in the offseason.
Yeah.
And we saw it a few times with Caden Ellis playing as an edge defender and Nate Landman being that Mike/Jack, whatever you want to call it, on that, where he is right in the middle. Our edge rushers, one guy that surprised me was James Smith-Williams. He played his assignments very well. He understood it. And I think it's the veteran presence. I want to see more from Arnold Ebiketie, because when he was on the field, it looks like he got confused at times. And I saw Caden getting frustrated with him, like telling him, this is your assignment. You need to be here. So I would like to see the penny fronts, especially with a run-heavy team, just have a body on a body, and let's tee off on Saquon. Let's make him pay for trying to hit the hole.
Yeah. So our very special guest she's backstage. We'll be bringing on Simone, Eagles content creator, podcast host herself, man. So Simone with the sports, welcome to the 95 North Sports Machine. How are you doing this evening?
What's up? How y'all doing?
We're doing great.
I got to ask one question before we get started.
Smitty didn't say it was going to be 4. I would have brought some of my people up here.
I told you to bring somebody.
Oh, you did.
I got one question. You and Dylan ain't falling out right now, are you? Because I know it's gonna be tough this week. He might be sleeping on the sofa all week.
I mean, y'all watched y'all game last week, right? Like, he don't have room to be talking trash. So we'll see after the game, but what can he say to me right now?
So we're gonna get right into it. Simone, thank you for joining the live this evening. Thank you for making yourself available and rocking out with us, previewing this Falcons and Eagles game. First glance look of what the Eagles look like week 1 versus Brazil, and some tough conditions down there field wise. What was your assessment on how things went for the Philadelphia Eagles week 1?
I feel like overall, honestly, I couldn't ask for a better week 1. We had about 4 or 5 new starters on defense, brand new defensive coordinator, brand new offensive coordinator. And for us to pull it out with a win, I know we had some issues that had to be cleaned up, but our starters didn't play in the preseason, and we have a brand new system going on. So
Oh man,
my boy Dylan, check him out.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, Simone. Before
but
you go ahead.
So rude. You know how y'all have no demureness about y'all. You know, y'all supposed to be the Southern hospitality.
Oh man,
but
you were saying hello. That was hospitable.
Smitty know he could have invited. He knows some other birds besides me. He know he could have invited somebody else up on here for me. But I couldn't have asked for a better week 1. I know y'all probably was on here picking us apart, nitpicking.
No.
I don't know.
Like I said,
I have no clue.
With all the new pieces that we had starting, and with the new defensive coordinator, for us to get timely stop after timely stop after timely stop, great. I love the way that Kellen Moore and Nick managed the clock. Obviously, y'all know it was a close game. That clock management was huge. Time management, timeout management was huge down the stretch. A big issue for us offensively last year was the play calling, play design, not running the ball. I feel like there was about 3 times I feel like we should have went to Saquon when we didn't. But overall, I feel like I love the play calling. I love the amount of times that we ran the ball. I feel like we're going to do nothing but build upon what we saw. Sorry, y'all got to be the ones in the way.
Man, hey, listen, blame the schedule makers. Blame the damn schedule makers for that one, man.
But y'all, once y'all get past us and the Chiefs, y'all good. Y'all schedule's easy past the Chiefs.
No game is easy. How dare you?
You got to win it tough.
Easy.
You got to play the game.
Oh, man.
Favorable. It's favorable.
It's favorable. It's favorable. That's very true. You mentioned Kellen Moore. You mentioned Vic Fangio, who's now the guy running the defense over there with Philly. Your thoughts, real quick, on a rejuvenated Zach Bond that made his way from New Orleans to Philly. He was very active week 1. He had a couple sacks.
15 tackles and 2 sacks.
Number one havoc player of the league. Number one havoc player in the league.
It was unbelievable. Your thoughts, right quick, on that, because that's now another piece that not just the Atlanta Falcons, but the whole NFC East Conference has to look for, how to scheme against a guy like Zach Bond. He's added onto a talented defense. Quentin Mitchell had an impressive debut as a rookie. Of course, Slay doing his thing. Who else? Jordan Davis. Jordan Davis is Jordan Davis.
Quinyon Mitchell had a really good game.
Like 2 pass breakups. It was pretty good, man.
He was on it.
But your thoughts, right quick, on Zach Vaughn and what element that he brings to this Eagles defense going forward?
First of all, we haven't had one good linebacker, let alone 2 good linebackers in about 25 years. So just having good linebacker play is huge. Going into the offseason, we felt like for a long time, we need to go and sign like a bigger name, somewhat of a name at linebacker, because the linebacker play has been our Achilles heel for a long time. So when we signed Zach Bond, we like, well, here we go again, getting another little Band-Aid, cheap, rental, random, former special teamer that we going to try to throw out here at linebacker. And this whole offseason, Vic Fangio been saying, every time he go to this press conference, the reporters will ask him, is Zach Bond an inside linebacker, or is he an edge rusher, or is he a special teamer? And Vic, like, let me do my job, basically. Zach Bond is him. And we seen it. I mean, Zach Bond, like, shoot, if it wasn't for TJ Watt breathing down y'all neck, Zach Bond could have easily been defensive player of the week. But I feel like we're excited. Like, this Saints to Eagles pipeline is crazy. I was just saying, I feel like the New Orleans Saints is our AAA team at this point.
On this podcast, they are not the Saints. On this podcast, they are not the Saints.
No, I gotta, you know what I'm saying? I gotta be respectful to.
No.
I gotta be respectful.
You are being respectful.
But you are being respectful, calling them out of their name on this show. 100%.
No, y'all ain't never give me nothing. Y'all, I mean, yeah. Y'all gave us something. But the Saints, I gotta keep it cute with the Saints. You know what I'm saying? CJ came here, popped off. We got Malcolm Jenkins in the past, came here, popped off. Zach Bond, next one up. So I'm loving what I'm seeing.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So you spoke about the Eagles linebackers, and it kind of springboards us into our next topic. And what are some stuff, and this is for my guys, of course, Simone, you're going to chime in as well. What are some things that we can do to get right in this game for these Atlanta Falcons? And Simone brought up an excellent point. The Eagles really not known for their linebacker play in recent years. I mean, you look back, it was rich then, right, with Levon Kirkley, Jeremiah Trotter, and etc. But now, towards these later years, man, it really hasn't. It's been a mixed bag at that linebacker position. I think this is one of the keys where the Falcons can start getting right on offense, exploiting the middle of that Vic Fangio defense and those linebackers. We have some speedsters that we haven't utilized, right after 1 week, but hopefully in week 2, it's an element that we bring to the table. So guys like Darnell Mooney, Ray McLeod, hell, even Kyle Pitts lined up in the slot could be a matchup nightmare for these Eagles linebackers. But gentlemen, what do you guys feel? What are some things that we must do to get right or get back on track for these Falcons heading into the city of brotherly love?
You just stole one of my ideas, because I was going to say attack those linebackers. She just said it. When the last time they had a linebacker that can make plays like that? Nakobe Dean is undersized, so Kyle Pitts has an advantage there. If you get him in the middle of the field and control the middle of the field, and I said this before week 1, if you control the middle of the field with Kyle Pitts, that opens up the run game. And guess what? That helps pass protection. that helps Kirk Cousins get in rhythm, and if he gets in rhythm, we all know what he can do with the play action pass. So Kyle Pitts, 3 catches, 26 yards last week, not gonna cut it. You got to amp that up, at least 6 catches, at least 80 yards, at least 2 touchdowns. So yeah, he controls the middle of the field. I think it opens up the run game, and like I said, Tyler Algier, that punishing runner, wear down this defense. I think that's the key.
Oh yeah, yeah. To piggyback off of that, even though the great game that the linebackers had for the Eagles, what to do? But yeah, even though the Eagles linebackers had good games, they really did. They still gave up 163 rushing yards on 21 attempts, 7.8 yards per carry. So I feel like the offensive line for the Falcons, they have to neutralize and slow down the defensive line of the Eagles. Because, for example, a guy like Jordan Davis, you can't have him pushing up the middle. And they kind of had him going from like side to side the last game. Hopefully, so you got to assume that they're going to want their front to push forward against your offensive line, seeing what Kirk Cousins was doing last week. You can't allow Jalen Carter, Bryce Huff, none of those guys to go off. You got to run with your guns, man. Tyler Algier, punch him. Bijan Robinson, juke him, because you really want to wear down this secondary, because I feel like that is where you have to take advantage of your shots. Jordan Love, 260, and he wasn't even on the top of his game. He could have easily gone for 300 if he was. He missed several throws that you're hoping maybe Kirk can take advantage of and drive the ball down the field with confidence. The Eagles last year, they were 30th in the league, 25.2 points per game, and also that secondary 31st in the league. Well, excuse me, the defense 31st in the league, 252.7 yards per game. They had 260 for Jordan Love. You got to try to take advantage of your shots. You have to play with confidence, and you got to play under center. You got to get that play action going.
Indeed.
You got to get the play action going, and you talk about the big bodies. I'm looking at Zach Robinson. You got to mix it up with your run scheme. If it's outside zone, outside zone, outside zone, those fast linebackers, Zach Bond, Nakobe Dean, they're going to figure it out.
Similar.
Did I get lost?
No, you're good.
Here?
We get you're here.
All right. Everybody froze. I was like, oh, no. But what I was saying is though, if you keep running the same thing and you don't do anything to keep them on their heels, they're just going to tee off just like Patrick Queen did. Like Peyton Wilson, the rookie for the Steelers. They figured it out. And Vic Fangio, as long a tenured as coach as he is, he's going to be telling his players what keys to look at and what instances, what motion. That's what film room is for. And if you don't establish that run, I saw after the Packers established the run, Bond and Dean were both biting extra hard, and that middle of the field was open because the rest of the receivers were clearing it out. And that's where Luke Musgrave, if you guys remember, had that big 30-plus yard catch. Well, Pitts is a lot better athlete than him. You get the ball in his hands in stride, anything can happen. But it's all on Zach Robinson. Everyone wants to put the pressure on the quarterback, right? Because it's the quarterback, right? Kirk didn't look right. Kirk this, Kirk that. Zach Robinson has to call a better game.
Man, the Philly faithful in the chat are going off. So let me bring Simone back in to see if she can calm these cats down right quick.
Ain't no common Philly fans. Ain't no common Philly fans.
No. I know that for the fact. I've been to Philly, and it's rough. It's rough out there. But Simone, question for you in the same sentiment. What are some of the things that the Eagles can capitalize on going into this Monday night game? Some things that you guys did good that you feel like you can capitalize on going into the Monday night matchup versus our Falcons.
Chat is lit. Food in the chat, man. They lit.
Let them. That's what it's about.
First and foremost, let me just say this. Do y'all know Kirk Cousins' record versus the Eagles?
Oh my God. Quarterback wins are not a stat.
No, I'm just
quarterback
asking
wins are not a stat.
When he pull up
it's
to
a
the
team
league
game. It's a team. Did Kirk Cousins lose the game last year against the Eagles?
No. Did he lose a game against the Eagles week 2? I was there. He did at the league.
He didn't lose it for his team.
But I'm saying
team lost to the Eagles.
Kirk Cousins in prime time, let alone Kirk Cousins in Philly. You asked me what advantages we had. First and foremost, one advantage is Kirk Cousins being scared of Philly on Monday night in prime time. I didn't tell y'all to sign Kirk Cousins. I don't know why you mad. Y'all saw Philly on the schedule and still signed Kirk Cousins. That's on y'all.
Oh, man. The slander.
Here comes the line.
Man, what Dylan? What Dylan?
We got to even the score. Dylan, where you at, man?
Second of all, y'all acting like that don't even really count, but I'm being dead serious. Second of all I heard y'all talk about was last year, our defense last year, and our defense and what Jordan Love did. Respectfully, Kirk Cousins is not playing like Jordan Love was. Kirk Cousins from week 1 is not what Jordan Love. Kirk Cousins week 1 was struggling. He was a statue. He was not Jordan Love. So what Jordan Love was able to do is not a guarantee that Kirk Cousins could be able to replicate. Not the Kirk Cousins that might be still dealing with an Achilles injury. Second of all, our defense did give up a lot of explosive plays, a lot of big plays. But after the first touchdown of the third quarter, our defense was locked down. Like I said, we got stop after stop after stop after stop. We had 2 turnovers in the red zone, and we held them to 6 points. They already got the ball in field goal range, and we held them to field goals, and they already had the ball there, so a field goal was guaranteed. After the first touchdown of the third quarter, those halftime adjustments was full on display. Okay, like I said, we have at least five new starters on the defense and a brand new defensive coordinator. We're going to have that chemistry coming in week 2. Now, I know we don't have TJ Watt, okay, but I feel like our biggest advantage is going to be getting that pressure on Kirk Cousins, pressuring Kirk Cousins. Y'all have hella weapons. Drake is a dog. Pitts is a dog. Bijan is a dog. And I feel like Bijan is going to be the biggest threat because when Bijan got the ball, Kirk Cousins don't. But respectfully, right now, from what I've seen after week 1, I'm not worried about the ball being in Kirk Cousins' hands because I don't think Kirk Cousins is healthy. Now, a healthy Kirk Cousins, Kirk Cousins, who was healthy, I'm not disrespecting him. He would get busy. But I don't think y'all have a healthy quarterback right now.
What did Chat say Kirk Cousins' record against the Eagles was?
6-5.
Oh.
Prime time.
Oh, no.
Next game on the schedule.
We said
Monday night.
That's the next game on the schedule.
I said Monday night.
Okay. So a struggling Kirk Cousins, right? Yeah. What did Damsky say? 4 turnover-worthy plays. Not good, right? A healthy Jalen Hurts had 6 against a defense that I don't think is as good as the Falcons, honestly, talent-wise.
Do you agree or disagree with that, Simone? Because they're coming at you.
First and foremost, what was the question? Do I disagree with what? Because like I said,
Falcons defense more talented than Philly's.
No.
Let
me not speak for you. Go ahead.
I do think that the Falcons defense. I do think that the Falcons, personnel-wise, has better defensive personnel than the Packers. Now, what I don't see, because I haven't seen it, is what y'all answer will be for all of our offensive weapons. Because y'all respectfully played Justin Fields, who ran out the league, barely had a job going into week 1. Freiermuth and Pickens. I do not see a scenario where y'all can stop Jalen, AJ Smitty, Saquon Barkley, and Dallas Goedert and all them boys. I don't see it. Maybe y'all do.
No, hey. Listen, man. KB, appreciate you donating to the chat. He's an Eagles fan, I guess. AJ Terrell gets cooked by top 5 receivers. No worry. Go Birds. Damn. I can't disagree with that, man. AJ, he does struggle against the bigger receivers. Mike Evans, is number 1 on that, man. You always cooking him. So with that, with that $5 bid, springboards us into our next thing. Falcon fans or guys here on the Falcons, concerns going into, or just individual matchups that you see will be a problem for these Falcons. Simone just dropped a lot of great names: AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, Saquon Barkley. We have some defensive pieces as well, but can our defensive pieces really slow down what Philly's trotting out Monday night? I have concerns, but I like to get your guys' thoughts right quick as to who's on the hot seat for this Falcons defense going into this Monday night game, man?
She just said it, AJ Terrell. When you got two speed receivers in AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, you got to lock them down. And as I said earlier, Clark Phillips has to get some playing time in this game. That kid is a playmaker. You have to put him on Devontae Smith at the least, because you have to be physical with that kid. So the Atlanta secondary and AJ Terrell mainly is on the hot seat with me, because he gave up those plays to Pickens. He was getting shook out of his shoes, and like I said, I criticize my team. I don't care. But AJ Terrell has to come play Monday night. He's going to be the key to the game, because if he can lock down the number one receiver, I think that helps the pass rush. And if you get out the Jalen Hurts, he's shown he's vulnerable when you get after him.
Very cool, very cool. I got one. If nobody's gonna go right away, I have one guy, and this guy is rated highly by PFF at the center spot. So Drew Dalman for me is on the hot seat, man. It's going to be pivotal how clean of a game Drew can, call for Kirk Cousins, pass protections, run, all of that. He has a handful with two guys, and Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis, two mammoth guys in the middle of that Phillies defense. If I know Vic Fangio, he might go zero technique and line somebody right over the center and try to give him hell all game. That's my guy. This thing is probably gonna be predicated, of course, in the trenches like it always is. But Drew Dalman for me is highlighted specifically because of all those. He's a shorter by stature center. He's good, not great, and he has a tough matchup. So for me, it would be Drew Dalman on the hot seat this Monday night.
Yeah, man. I got to go with AJ Terrell, but really I got to go with the secondary of the Falcons defense, because you got to AJ Brown is AJ Brown. He can kill you deep. He can kill you with the slants. Very talented wide receiver. But Devontae Smith, for me, he's always been that guy that's just been dependable for the Eagles. Third down conversions, he's able to get it. He's able to get those extra yards. He's tougher than he looks. He's a good route runner. The route tree is exquisite, to be honest with you. So a guy like that who has the technique and the speed to go along with it, and the hands, can't forget about the hands. You have to keep a lock on that guy. He's only played the Falcons once, but you got to keep your hands open.
Come on, Simone.
I'm in here talking. I'm trying to talk to my fans. I'm trying to engage with my chat. You gonna put me on blast? I'm trying to engage with my chat.
Come on, Simone.
I'm in here trying to engage with my little people.
Oh no! Shout out to Philly faithful, man.
Here's what
Shout
I'm
out
saying.
to y'all, man.
We've all seen AJ get picked on. Yes, he does have a tougher time with those one-on-one assignments, because for whatever reason, he just doesn't turn to the ball. He focuses in on the receiver instead of trying to make a play on the ball. But I'm going to say this. Of the big plays he gave up last week, I only put one on him. Only one. It was actually Jesse and Justin that had miscommunication and caused it to look like it was AJ. So I just want to clear that up. That's what I saw. And that's the discussion I had amongst people in the Falcons realm that, also watch the film, are a little bit more knowledgeable than me, and just helping me break it down. My matchup is Zach Robinson versus Vic Fangio. Can Zach Robinson improve? I'm going to beat it like a dead horse, because Vic Fangio's been in this league a long time. He can adapt. He has his base system that he runs, but he can see tendencies and he can see trends. Now, Zach Robinson doesn't have a lot of film to show because it was a lot of repetitive routes. It was repetitive in the run game. It was repetitive in their route schemes. So Zach Robinson could take advantage by implementing new things that Vic Fangio may not have expected from this Falcons team.
Not Ray Caruth.
Come on, Birdcage. Come on, bro.
Come on, Ryan. He's with the shits, man. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy.
Like that's out that trunk.
Simone,
man.
advantages you see your lovely Philadelphia Eagles against these Atlanta Falcons. What are some things? Well, actually, I already asked that. What are your concerns going in? Do you have any single player concerns or unit concern with your team going against these Falcons on Monday night?
I feel like one, we got to clean up our penalties. We had about 20 million penalties against the Packers. Some of them was very questionable. You know what I'm saying? We were in Brazil. You know, there was a lot of go pack go. But we definitely had some penalties that was keeping the Packers in the game. So we definitely got to clean up our penalties. Obviously, I feel like Bijan is the biggest problem for us. Like I said, Kirk is gonna have to prove it to me. He's gonna have to show it to me. I watched your whole game last week, top to bottom, buzzer to buzzer. You know what I'm saying? And Kirk gonna have to show me he's alive. Bijan, though, obviously we know what Bijan can do. The Packers, they was getting shifty with their running backs. Obviously, they was able to get more going though, because you know, Jordan Love and all that.
Darius.
What's up, Ladarius? But yeah, I feel like Bijan Robinson, if y'all gonna kill us, it's gonna be by Bijan, and we can't be committing penalties. Other than that, not being cocky at all, I feel like we got the upside. And we at home. We retiring Nick Foles' jersey getting retired. LaShawn McCoy is getting inducted into Hall of Fame, Ring of Honor. It's the first home game of the season. We gonna be up in there rocking.
Well, a lot of emotion Monday night for sure, man. If y'all are going, please be safe, especially for us Falcon fans.
You mean Dylan? Y'all gotta pray for Dylan.
Traveling to Philly. Oh boy, poor Dylan, man.
Poor Dylan.
What do y'all think? Do y'all think, as Falcons, would y'all be mad if Dylan switched into an Eagles jersey?
Oof,
that's
if
him.
He lost the bet. If he lost the bet, no.
No, because he was saying last time. He was saying, because when we played this,
I ain't switching no.
I'm trying to protect him.
Let's go, Dylan.
Through and through.
I
bleed red.
This is me trying to help him.
ATL for real. Come on now.
Let's go, man.
That's not.
She done tried to get me to switch before, and every time I say no, I'm gonna say no for the rest of my life.
That's not switching. That's me trying to get him out the stadium real fast, undercover. That's not him switching. That's just me security. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey,
She don't want you to come home with no knots on your head. That's all.
To stand on business. 1 versus 50. One Falcon versus 50. I'm ready. I'm ready.
That's how our fan base is anyway. 1 on 50.
I'm trying to help him. That's all I'm trying to do. I ain't say be an Eagles fan. They're gonna be looking at me crazy because I'm gonna be the one with the Falcons fan.
Gotcha.
Wow.
So, gentlemen, I hate to ask this question. Of course, I'm gonna ask Simone the same thing about her Eagles, but as it pertains to us in chat, man, let us know what you think as well, man. Has this game so early in the season, has it already turned into a must-win game for these Atlanta Falcons? As we all know, you know, we have a goose egg in the win column. The rest of the NFC South has a win. Well, us and the Panthers, but the other two teams, the Tampa Bay Aints, let me call them that. Those two knuckleheads that are ahead of us. But has this game already turned into a must-win for these Atlanta Falcons so early on, man?
I have to say yes, and the only reason why is because this is the top cream of the crop. You would know exactly where you stand if you win this game. This gives you confidence going forward, especially going into a tougher game next week against the Chiefs. So confidence-wise, this is absolutely a must-win game. I know it's early in the season, and I know the back end of your schedule is kind of on the easy side, but this is the cream of the crop. If you beat them, you know where you stand as a team. That gives you confidence going into week 3. So I say hell yes.
I'm going to disagree. I don't necessarily think it's a must-win. Should you go with that mindset as a team, as a coaching staff? Absolutely. So you don't play lazy or laid back. But you want to see progress, right? If you play them tough to the end and we still don't come away with the victory, I don't think the sky is falling. Okay, so that's why I say it's not necessarily a must-win. Even if you get to the Chiefs game and you're 0-2, would I like to win? Of course I would. I want my Falcons to win.
Hell yeah.
But Kirk Cousins said it today when he got interviewed by Rich Eisen. There's 16 more games. No one's going to remember the beginning of the year if you finish strong at the end and you make a run in the playoffs. Okay. Everyone's going to look back and you're going to look like, well, man, we look bad, but look how we finished. So keep that in mind when you hit the panic button. It'd be a different story if we were 0-4 and we're going to our 5th game. I'd be like, yeah, it is a must win, but it's only the 2nd game. Go in it with the mindset that you have to win. But if you don't, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, I'm gonna piggyback off of bro talk and be like, man, you have to be competitive. That's the must. Show that you're competitive and you're on the road. So you show that you're competitive on the road. You make this tougher for pretty much the Eagles, because the Eagles offense again is significantly better than what you just faced in the Steelers. So go out there, be competitive, and show what you can do. As for must win, let's just be honest. Outside of the Falcon faithful, no one really is expecting us to beat the Eagles or the Chiefs. It is what it is. We're going to go into it with belief. But regardless, even if you don't and you end up 0-3, now the Saints, when you play them, that's when it's going to be like kind of like a must win for me, because now you got to start getting wins, and the teams in our division, they're going to play these teams too, and they're going to be playing these teams when they're clicking on all cylinders. Everybody just getting it together right now, and we're getting these hard matchups out the way. So this may play into our favor later on in the season, but must win mentality coming in. But you must show that you're competitive. You can't have another 10-point outing like you just had. You just can't do that.
Facts.
You can't look dismal like you just did in week 1 more than anything.
Yeah, unfortunately, I view this too as a must-win, but I think the brain trust is here. And brain trust, what I mean by that is the vet players on this team, guys like Grady, David, Justin Simmons, who's been on some bad teams, Justin Simmons as well. I meant to say Justin Simmons, not Jesse Bates. I'm sorry. So we have some makeup here that can really get us out of this, out of this early funk. It's just one game. I get it, but it's important to keep a winning mentality. We have enough winners on this defensive staff and team overall that we can get this thing right going into Philly. But Simone, I'll ask you the same thing. How important is it for your Philadelphia Eagles to continue the win, right? You got to win against Green Bay. Going into week 2 is a assumed win by the folks in the chat. But how important is it for your team going forward, playing in a, we don't want to call it an all too competitive NFC East at the moment because it's still early, but primarily it is a pretty tough division to play it, when it's all said and done. So how important is it for you, for your Philly team to get this dub?
I feel like it was important for us to win week 1. Just because the way we ended last season, it didn't matter who we played week 1. Like, we had to win week 1. I feel like now that we won week 1, I mean, of course we want to win, but I don't think it's a must-win game. Only reason it's a must-win is because y'all look so goddamn bad week 1. Now it's embarrassing if we lose to y'all. That's the only reason why it's a must-win, is because y'all laid such a big fat egg. Like, you can ask Dylan, and I'm on record on my own page. I've said this a million times, but I picked y'all, god dang it, to beat the Steelers. Y'all got me getting phone calls from Steelers fans. My mama, who's a Steelers fan, you thought those Falcons was gonna beat us? Y'all got me looking bad. Okay, going into this season after seeing all y'all acquisitions, and I watched y'all all last season. Like, I felt like y'all offense was moving. Y'all offense would move. Y'all defense was just leaky. I thought y'all was going to be something for real. And y'all still can be something. Like, it's just week 1. So going into the season, I was scared. I was like, we got to play the Falcons week 2. They got Kirk. Because like I said, Kirk going to throw 3 picks, but Kirk is going to throw some touchdowns too. Like,
come on.
Wow.
So I'm like,
3 picks? Where'd you get those stats from? You went back to Wikipedia. Did you get that from?
All they had to do is huddle shot.
He gonna throw 3 picks, but he's still gonna win the games. He like Dak Prescott. He the white Dak.
Let me call Dylan right there.
Does someone have her on speed dial? Does someone have her on speed dial when he throws for 4 tutties and 300?
We'll be right back. Commercial break coming up.
Listen. Did y'all not do research? Anyways, like I'm saying,
wow, really?
Going into the season, I had y'all as a game that we could lose, because I'm like, They got Kirk, who, yes, can turn over the ball, but can still put up 30 points usually. Y'all got all them weapons. Now y'all finally got a quarterback. Y'all got all those defensive pieces. I had Atlanta as a possible loss. I was telling Dylan, I'm scared. Okay, I said that. I said it on camera too. But after seeing y'all week 1, now I'm like, it's embarrassing if we lose to y'all because they're going to be like, Justin Fields beat the Falcons, but the Eagles couldn't beat the Falcons. Chris Boswell beat the Falcons single-handedly, and the Eagles can't. So now it's a matter of we don't want to look like we're embarrassed. That's the only reason why we need to beat y'all. But y'all got hella pieces. It's not bad if we lose to y'all. Y'all should be a respectable team. And like I said,
Absolutely.
If Kirk wakes up, then it could be a real game.
Speaking of Kirk waking up, we're going into our portion of the show where we highlight X factors. Simone, you're gonna definitely, be a part of this one too, highlighting some X factors for your Philadelphia Eagles. If you want to give one offense, one defense, or whichever way you want to do it. But fellas, man, X factors going into this Monday night game. I had a crazy one last week with Tyler Algier. Didn't work out that way, but let's get a vibe. What you going? What you going with, Chris? I'll start with you, man. Your X factors for Monday night's game.
Man, shoot, you got to control the tempo, man, and you got to control the time of possession. One thing that you have to do is you have to incorporate your bowling ball, your wrecking ball. You know, the Falcons didn't break any tackles last week. Did y'all notice that? That was just great tackling by the Steelers. But this week, you got to make those Eagles guys, kind of be shifting from side to side, wear them down, hit them with the bowling ball. Tyler Algier, man, you have to get him more involved. 3 carries for 21 yards, 7 yards per carry, and then he doesn't get nothing else. It's just crazy to me. You have to incorporate him because that's also going to make what Bijan can do better. Then you can start, maybe having both of them in at the same time, splitting Bijan out wide, just giving the defense other things to think about. I'm just saying, like, we have weapons, just like everyone has said on this panel. It's time to just use them. But you got to start with your run game. So I'm going with Tyler Algier. I'm going with Tyler Algier as an X factor. I know you did last week, Berto. It didn't work out. Yeah, I'm down. I'm doubling down this week. You have to go after these guys. Or a guy who used to play middle linebacker. He's not afraid of anybody that's coming at him. Because one thing that counts
so speed, elegant.
You let them come. You let them come out. You let them come out. You let those linebackers come at Tyler Algier with that speed. They're gonna be bouncing right off of them because that's a bowling ball. Start there and then work your way back. That's what I got.
Right quick, bro, talk before you go, man. Gotta give a quick shout out again, man, to Simone. Thank you so much for joining the show this evening, man. This 400 awesome. Views just about, man. So star powered by Simone, bringing all her Philly faithful here to the stream, man. Getting eyes across the platform. We definitely truly appreciate it, man. So thank you, Simone, again. But bro, talk. Give us your X factors for offense, defense, or whichever way you want to go, man.
Didn't I say I was gonna beat a dead horse?
Uh-oh.
Go ahead.
Zach Robinson. The players will play, but the offensive coordinator has to help his players. We saw it when it was straight up pass protection. Drew Dahlman, Matthew Bergeron, and even Chris Lindstrom were getting mauled up the middle. Where does Philly's strength lie in their line? Up the middle. If you get the pressure in Kirk's face, guess what's going to happen? A sack, incomplete pass, or even worse, a turnover. That's the X factor. Zach Robinson has to mix it up, help his offensive line, help his quarterback, and keep the defense on their heels.
Absolutely. Fire. Smitty.
Yeah, my X factor, I ain't going to change it up either, man. Not much. Offense, I'm gonna say Tyler Algier, and I meant what I said earlier, man. You got to beat the Eagles to sleep in the middle of the field, and you got to beat them in the trenches because that's where they're toughest. You talk about guys like Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter. On offense, you talk about Lane Johnson. So you have to beat them in the trenches, and the best way to beat them in the trenches is with the power run game. And I think the Falcons should have used Algier more last week, but this week you have to make that right. Use Algier, wear down their defense, and then you let Bijan finish it off. On defense, I'm gonna throw a game changer. I think D. Alford or Clark Phillips against Devontae Smith. I think Devontae Smith is going to be key. We know AJ Brown is the #1 guy, but Devontae Smith is the sleeper. He always waits till the defense lulls themselves to sleep, then he beats you over the top. You got to stop that. So be physical with him and keep him in check. And if you can do that, I think you keep the Eagles a little bit one-dimensional, and that's what you need.
For me, it's going to be the guy on offense. For me, is going to be Kyle Pitts. Going into this matchup is a very favorable matchup against those Philly linebackers, and I believe they get a returning Devin White too, who they acquired from in free agency, who used to play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a guy that knows Kyle Pitts and vice versa. So I look for that to be the dominant matchup there, where I think Kyle Pitts can get the better of Devin White. And Nakobe Dean, like Smitty mentioned at the top of the stream, a shorter statured linebacker, of course. I think he's only like 5'11", and Pitts is 6'4", 6'5". So the mismatch is there. It's up to, like Bro Talk said, for Zach Robinson to get this thing going and get it going the right way. So Kyle Pitts for me is the X factor going into for the offense. On defense, man, I'm going to say Zach Harrison, man. Zach Harrison, you had a position change or was asked to do a little bit more. In this game, I'm calling you out to do more. This is a really big Philly offensive line, and Zach Harrison is no slouch or no pushover and whatsoever. So I'm hoping for him to have a breakout game of some sort. I know that there's the Philadelphia Eagles' strength is the bookends, the guys on the outside, but look to exploit Mekhi Becton in the center, the brand new center at that. We saw some fumbled exchanges in that Green Bay game with the center in Jalen Hurts. So hopefully, a nice breakout game for Zach Harrison would be exactly what this Falcons defense needs. So I look for Zach Harrison. I look for Kyle Pitts. And that's where I'm going to go. Simone, I'll bring you back in, and I'll ask you the same thing. X factors for you going into this Atlanta Falcons game.
Defensively, I feel like it's going to be the DBs. I feel like we already know we got to get the pressure up front. We got to get the pressure on Kirk Cousins. But I feel like if our DBs can hold it down like they did last week, continue to shine. Obviously, we got the rookie Quinyon Mitchell that's going to be back out there. Not sure if Avonte Maddox is going to be back out in the slot or if we're going to throw Cooper in the slot or what we're going to do there, because Maddox was a little shaky. But we do have a lot of depth at slot, so that's a little bit of a question mark if we're going to roll with Maddox or whatnot. But I think the DBs are going to be the X factor on defense, because Nakobe, Bond, they popped out last week. We already know we got to go ahead, get up front, get to Kirk Cousins. But I need the DBs to make some plays. We had 1 pick last week. We need to get some more turnovers this week. I feel like offensively, Weapon X probably could be Dallas Goedert. I mean, we got so many weapons on offense. Like I said, we brought in a new play caller. We still, as you can see, none of the starters played in the preseason. So week 1, it was a little bit of miscommunication here and there with the snaps, some of the penalties. But I feel like, AJ, Devontae, Saquon want to lock in there. But Dallas Goedert is a guy who can continuously make big catches, can continuously be a mismatch, and is continue a guy that's going to get that yak. We saw in the game last week what he was able to do. So I think Dallas Goedert could definitely be that X factor. He's always good for, a big game where everybody want to zero in on everybody else. But now we got Saquon. You just can't zero in on everybody.
Yeah. Hey, can I just add just a real quick thing? Just a real quick thing.
Of course. Go ahead, bro.
Just as far as the defense goes, the whole defense is another X factor as well. This is a better offense. Again, I'm going to keep drumming that in one more time. This is a better offense, and I want to see just how good our Falcons defense is against a better top-rated opponent. So this is going to be a nice test regardless, kind of like a measuring stick. Can't wait to get after it. On to Monday Night Football, man.
Bro Talk getting deliveries on air. I love it, man. Milk and cookies at 9 o'clock. Oh, yo, what's going on? Where's mine?
Hey, man. Hey. Well, I put a ring on it, man.
Hey, there you go, smart man.
There you go.
All right, man. Part of the show.
Hey,
end of the show.
Before we move on, man, I got to give a shout out to those Eagle fans in the chat. Shout out to y'all, man, for turning it up,
for real,
supporting Simone, man, and I know y'all will support her heavy. But y'all please keep doing that. And if y'all in our chat on the 95 North Sports Machine, Smitty Sports Machine, A1 Forever, or the 95 North Falcons Talk Show, please go to Simone with the Sports on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell, man, because she's putting out great work all the time. So y'all check out. Man. But go ahead, Burger.
Y'all appreciate it.
Absolutely. So Philly faithful in the chat, Simone, yourself, Falcon fans in the chat, and us on the panel. It's that time. What time is it? Score prediction time. This is the juicy part. This is where, we let it all hang out, so to say, man. So we're going to go ahead and go around the table. We'll chime in, we'll let the folks in the chat chime in as well. Score prediction time. I'll start with you, Chris. Pressure's on you, buddy. You're going to set the tone. Prediction for Monday night's game. What say you, brother?
I'm going to go. It's going to be a close one. The Falcons to pull this off. It's still going to be a close game. I don't expect us to, even if we're clicking on all cylinders, it's always a tough game against Philly. So, honestly speaking, I'm going to go like 29-26 Falcons. That's it's still gonna be close regardless. Like if we pick up the win, it's gonna be close. I think it's gonna be like 3 points or less, honestly.
All right. I'm just saying, you know what? Bro talk, what you got? Damn, somebody said 40-10 Eagles. Y'all are outrageous.
Okay, first of all,
go to bed.
Can I say something?
Of course you can. Go ahead.
I didn't say 40-10, but what happened last week? Y'all did play last week and put something up on tape that wasn't great.
Something we need to remember. Sports are fluid. Didn't y'all go on a losing streak to end the season last year that you didn't expect?
Talk about it. Team imploded. What's going on?
Didn't you lose? Hold on. I'm the biggest Baker Mayfield hater on this whole thing.
Oh,
yeah.
And didn't he pick you apart in that playoff game?
Are we talking about this season or last? Respectfully, I would love to talk about last season, where y'all didn't make the playoffs again. Where y'all didn't make the playoffs.
You brought it up. Hold on. No, you brought up that we talked about
in NFL history, and we still made the playoffs. Y'all couldn't beat the A's. Y'all couldn't beat the Bucks. Y'all couldn't beat the Panthers again when it mattered. You brought up last season.
I brought up something that stings a little. That losing streak. It stings a little, right?
Don't sting,
Number
baby.
one
we
team in the league.
Playoffs.
And then did what? You lost to a Baker Mayfield-led Bucks team that barely won the NFC South. Okay? That's in the past, right? That's in the past, though.
Y'all got Justin Fields back in the game. Week 1 last season is very relevant. Talking about last season is extremely irrelevant. If we want to talk about the past, then y'all have no business even showing up to the league because y'all are barely a respectable team in the whole league. If you want to talk about the past,
listen, my brother's an Eagles fan, so I hear it all the time. You guys like to segue way out of it. I'm just pulling up a point.
You brought up prior seasons. If you want to bring up prior seasons,
you like to bring up last prior
seasons.
You like to bring up last week? I'm just saying,
which is relevant to next week.
Sports are fluid.
Spinning like
so we're not talking about last week. This whole show we talked about last week. What we saw last week.
Yeah, for sure. No, for sure. But sports are fluid.
It is. But this whole show we brought up last week. Now, when I brought up last week, you want to bring up last season. If you want to bring up last season, I'm gonna bring up y'all whole history where y'all ain't won shit.
Oh, so
where do we draw the line where we bring up the past?
It's all. I mean, we're
gonna reel it back in.
We're gonna reel it back in.
I'm asking.
I'm reeling it back in because we're getting way off topic.
Week 1.
My point is, sports are fluid. We can talk about last week, but we're now talking about this coming week.
We are, but what can I base it off of? If we can't base week 2 off week 1. What can we base it off of? All of a sudden, we can't talk about last week. This whole show, all y'all talked about was last week. All of a sudden, we can't make predictions off week 1. So what? You don't got no playbook? The guys ain't watching film. They ain't looking at last
smell
week.
That? It smells like a trap game to me. Does it smell like a trap game now?
Trap game for Philly, indeed.
No, listen. On all seriousness, I want.
Hold on, wait a minute. I don't even like that term though. I don't even like the term of being called a trap game. Because
we are.
We're just gonna have to,
I mean, no matter what happens in this singular game,
the pudding is in the pie, right? Everyone saw what we put out there, so that's what everyone's basing it off of. So to say we're a trap game is fair, right?
And to bring up week one is fair when y'all brought up week one
all seriousness,
I've been serious.
No, I'm talking about score prediction now. I would love to see my Falcons win. I would love to see it. I would love to see them competitively. But respectfully and thinking logically, I hate to say it, I have the Eagles 24-21.
Wow. Damn.
I hate to say it, but that's just
no. Hey, that's true.
As a football fan, and not just with my heart. My heart wants to say Falcons, but my head
absolutely.
Smitty? Boy, I don't even know where to go after that.
Don't go to last week because all of a sudden you can't. All of a sudden you can't use prior weeks. Just don't bring up week one, Smitty. Forget everything week one. Wake up every day like a chicken.
Honestly, I think this game is going to be controlled by the run games on both sides, and I think it's going to be key for the Falcons this game if they're going to win it. And I think they can pull it out. And one, I think they can control the clock, and I think they can control time of possession. Especially with Algier and Robinson. So I'm going to take the Falcons over the Eagles 20-17 in a tough one.
I think.
I guess it's my turn. God damn it.
Yeah, I would think so.
So last week, right now, someone asked
right.
Start there. You got to trigger your
friend. Let's keep it a buck, man. You know, we're definitely facing a good balanced Eagles team, right? Did some great things with Saquon. You know, Saquon took NFC Player of the Week, rightfully so. 109 yards rush, 2 touchdowns. We'll give him his flowers. He deserves them, right? Impressive Philly debut. For the Falcons, of course, some of the debuts really didn't fall in favor. So hence the reason why there's a lot of pressure, I feel like on this Falcons team, coaching staff, a la, like Bro Talk was mentioning, Zach Robinson. So I really feel like Zach Robinson can get it right. I think he has all the tools to work with, really. And it, of course, is going to fall on Kirk Cousins and that $100 million leg. Can he plan on it? Can he not? So I expect the Falcons to come out swinging differently than what we did week one against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So with all that said, I gotta take my Falcons, man. I gotta take my Falcons, and I'm gonna go Bro Talk's route 24-21, but I'll go 24-21 Falcons on an upset on the road. Simone, the floor is yours.
Well, hopefully, you know what I'm saying, my Eagles bottle up all this disrespect that's coming up from 95 South and take it personally this week, because I was hoping for a gracious game, you know what I'm saying, for Dylan's sake. But at this point, I feel like I need to take Dylan out this toxic fan base and bring him to a real one. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't have this man.
You want to talk toxic,
you know what I'm saying? I can't have this man.
If that isn't the kettle calling
I can't have this man dealing with folks who live in a state of delusion. Like I said, I thought the little boys was delusion. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was for the team in Texas. But apparently, delusion runs across the entire NFL. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I hope they see and find some glimpses of this bullshit I've been hearing. And they let it all out at the link on Monday night. So whatever close game I might have got y'all, so y'all can enjoy y'all Monday night. Y'all know what I'm saying? Y'all can enjoy part of the game. Now we're going to have to blow them boys out and show y'all who the real birds are. So y'all can finally forget about week one. And we gonna give y'all a week 2 to remember. You ain't gonna want to talk about you either. You gonna want to forget week 2. Week 3, y'all gonna be on your podcast, and he gonna be like, "What? We played week 2? Let's not talk about week 2." I'm gonna give y'all a week 2 to remember. I'm gonna say 38. What y'all get? 1 field goal last week? 2 field goals? 3? I'm gonna give y'all 3 field goals. I'm gonna say 40-9.
40-9.
Wow. Yeah, 40-9.
God damn.
Because now we gotta embarrass y'all. Now we gotta embarrass y'all.
Y'all are tripping hard, bro.
No, before y'all started talking crazy, I would have gave y'all a respectable score. But you know what I'm saying? Once y'all started talking crazy, I had to take all the respect off the table.
Y'all better win Monday after that score.
If one y'all better win, y'all gonna roll with.
Because y'all was wilding on here. Wilding. I said week 1, I saw what you talking about. Week 1, 4. Week 1 don't exist. God damn.
Oh man, bro.
Man just wanted to move into the present. That's all my man wanted.
But I'm saying, do you not base each week off the prior week? I'm confused. Do y'all not watch film?
I didn't.
Great point. We do.
I just,
we do. You have a valid point. So
you hence, talking about what did you see from week 1? You want cleaned up? I said week 1. It's a gun in my head.
You have a very valid point. Yes, we have to talk about week 1 and build off of that. So the Falcons definitely have some pressure to build off. Well, more pressure going into this game. We definitely have to show a whole lot better showing, man. But that remains to see. But we definitely come to the part of of the show where it ends, of course, and we're definitely honored and privileged to have you on, Simone. Thank you so very much to you and your Philly following for coming through this evening. Over 415 views for a week 2 game. God damn, that's cooking.
Week 2, baby.
If it ain't, man. But definitely, any parting things you guys want to say before we head on out of here, Chris?
Yeah, man. Again, man. Thank them for coming through, Eagles fans.
Absolutely.
Even though this is gonna be a tough game for the Falcons, thank y'all for showing this platform love. Thank y'all for supporting Simone. Like I said, she does her thing. And as always, man, y'all can catch me on the Smitty Sports Machine on YouTube and Fatboy Slim _21 on Twitter, because I'm always throwing stuff on Twitter because that's what I do. And also catch me on the NFC South Roundtable every Tuesday night, 7 p.m., where I go at it against Saints, Bucks, and Panthers fans. And trust me, if y'all didn't see last night's show, y'all missed a good one. We had over 400 people in the chat. Got over 400 subs over the last 24 hours. So man, we were doing our thing last night. So shout out to them, and almost 10,000 views on that live stream. So y'all please go check that out.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
Can you read my super chats, please?
Sure can.
I thought I did. Oh no, I
somebody
read,
said. Somebody
okay,
said super chat.
Yeah, we had 3 turnovers against the Packers and still put up 34 points. Tell them, Monet. But again, the Packers did not capitalize on those turnovers. Again.
Thank you for the super chat, Asha.
There you go.
Thank you, KB.
If y'all
go on and read it, Simone. It's for you. Go on and read it.
If y'all lost to a team who scored no touchdowns, what do you think Saquon gonna do? Go Birds. Thank you, KB. I was trying not to read it because I didn't want to start nothing else.
No. Hey,
y'all are Kool-Aid hide on Saquon. You know that man's a slip away from landing on the IR, right? I'm just saying.
Y'all already got a quarterback on IR who y'all about to
No, we don't. That's stop
y'all
the
quarterback.
You know Saquon's injury history is this big.
And y'all know Kirk Cousins. And y'all know Kirk Cousins. So y'all mind y'all quarterback. Look, we both got an injury-prone star. We not supposed to be happy.
Okay. No, you got it. You got it.
We both praying. We both praying for all.
Yes, we are. Definitely both praying that these guys come out clean this game, man.
Boy.
Oh man. But go ahead, Chris, because you've been waiting. Go ahead, bro.
Chris, I'm sorry, Chris, because Chris been real polite down there waiting.
Hey, man, I be chilling. I don't be stressed. But seriously, man, again, just like Smitty said, shout out to all the Philly faithful who came through and showed this platform some love. We greatly appreciate it. You know, so at the end of the day of all the trash talk and predictions and everything like that, I love sports because it brings us all together as people. And I don't believe there's really too many things in the world that can really do that. So that's a beautiful thing, man. For me, man, positive energy. It always creates elevation. That's how you get your peace. That's how I always find it each and every week. And I encourage each and everybody to do the same, man. But me, Chris Tipmore, A1 Forever Sports on YouTube, TikTok, the real A1 Forever Sports on X and Instagram. You can catch me A1 Forever. I try to keep it, kind of similar everywhere it is, man. Hey, come have a conversation, man. And again, find your peace today. Thank you to Miss Simone for coming on, and giving her expertise and her insight on the team. This has been great. I hope we can do this again. It's all about fellowshipping with me, no matter what your logo is at the end of the day. And hey, that's really the only thing I got, man. Salute to everybody.
Hey man, hold up real quick. That was beautiful, by the way, man. But your math is not mathing. Cousin's 40 years old. Let's keep it a buck. The man's 36. It's not mathing.
Excuse me, sir. Sir.
It's not mathing.
Sir,
last time I know,
sir?
Of course. Yeah, go ahead.
Sir,
go right ahead.
He said that because you came at Saquon for no reason. And that's why he brought up. I'm just letting you know.
Absolutely.
No,
absolutely.
That was in rebuttal to see y'all be doing y'all don't be looking at the man in the mirror. You came for Saquon for no reason in his injury history. So Desmond took it upon himself to remind you that your quarterback isn't sipping the fountain of youth right now.
No, he's not. But goddamn, don't put my man in the grave now. 40 years old. I mean, the math is not mathing. That's what I'm saying. He's 36. That's a buck.
We round up. We round it up.
I'll tell you that.
Appreciate it, Drew. You already know.
Man.
This is like talk. Let them know, man. What's going on?
Well, you guys know where to catch me on Twitter. Bro Talk. At BK2 TikTok, it's Dirty Bird Central. The YouTube page is up. Same thing, Dirty Bird Central. I love sports, just like Chris said. It brings us all together, gives us a chance to banter, even when the other fan base is just spinning in circles and not really saying much. But thank you guys for so much. Simone, thanks for being here and bantering with me. It was fun. I do it all the time with my brother. Like I said, he's an Eagles fan too. Man. So,
yes. You bring up spinning in circles, just like Kirk is going to be spinning in circles when Jalen Carter and Bryce Huff and all the boys are after him. And just like AJ Terrell is going to be spinning in circles when AJ Brown is on his ass. And your other boy, y'all paid, Jesse Bates, going to be spinning in circles. You know what I'm saying? When we cutting on a dime and cooking y'all. So thank you for bringing up spinning up circles. Since we love talking about the future on this show, thank you for bringing up spinning in circles because that's what the Dirty Dirts will be doing. But
my God, man.
Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Of course.
Thank you so much to all my Birds fans. This was a Shakita Godspeed. Hopefully you got a good one, sis. Hopefully you got a good one. Thank you so much.
She got an excellent one. I ain't even got to worry about that.
Yeah, what?
She got an excellent one. If you're a Falcon fan, he excellent. That's all you need to know.
Because we loyal, and ain't no such thing as a bandwagon Falcon fan. So, you know what I'm saying? You got to be loyal right there.
Some other adjectives, maybe not a bandwagon, but some other adjectives. But appreciate all my Eagles people for jumping in here. It's been a long night. I had 2 streams tonight. So thank y'all for staying for the after. I think this one was way more entertaining than the stream we had earlier today. So Smitty, sorry for coming on here and having to turn up your stream. I didn't know.
Oh man, that's exactly what we know, man. Sorry about that. Hey, look, man, at the end of the day, we know it's a competitive sport. You know, we just showing up and showing out for our beloved teams. That's what it boils down to. We're all gonna talk crap, but respectfully, of course, at the end of the day, you know. But we're so glad that you were able to come on. Simone, just again, if you want to let the folks know, the fan base, even our very own, man, which you gained some subscribers from, man, just let them know where they can find you furthermore on your socials, and we'll be good.
Y'all can find me, Simone with the Sports, SYMONE with the Sports, on TikTok, on YouTube, on Instagram. Yes, be on the lookout, Falcons fan, for the content. I'm trying to get Dylan out of YouTube retirement and TikTok retirement. So he said he's gonna be posting some content.
Good. Love to see you. All right, man. Well, that's the part of the show, man. I'm your boy Berto, your host of the 95 North Falcons Talk Show. You can find me on YouTube under that, man. You can find me under RI Falcons on Twitter, and I will be post-game on Monday night on Bleacher Report breaking down the game. The Philly and Falcons game. Excuse me, I'm all messed up over here. But needless to say, man, that's where you can find me. But until then, rise up. Let's go, Falcons. Let's get this dub. Peace.